This is a very impromptu video. I'd planned to do a video about repurposing an old piece of tech into a really cool gift as we're in the season of giving. However, as we are in the holiday season, that product has been stationary in the USPS system for over a week now. But I have a plan B. Instead of repurposing a piece of older tech, I'm going to re-gift an older piece of tech, but to make it a useful and long-lived gift, I need to do some user-level maintenance and upgrades, and the device is this fully user-serviceable and upgradable Dell laptop. No, it's not a Dell Luna, that's just a concept, maybe. This is a Dell Inspiron 15 circa 2018. Let's do this. Hey guys, welcome to Elevated Systems. I'm your host CJ, and the holiday season is upon us, and my mom is in need of a new computer. Now, my mom is somewhat entwined in the Apple ecosystem. Her first and only cell phones have been iPhones. She has an iPad for work, so I considered possibly getting her an M1 MacBook Air, but to be completely honest, that's just too much computer for what she's going to use it for. So I started looking at older MacBooks on the used market, and then I stopped because if I'm going to go with a used laptop, well, I have some of those on hand. The most practical being this 2018 Dell Inspiron 15. This was my wife's daily driver before I upgraded her to an M1 Mac Mini setup. It's an Inspiron 15 3567 built on an Intel i3 7130U 2-core 4-thread 2.7 GHz CPU with integrated HD graphics 620, 8 gigs of DDR4 memory, and a 1TB 2.5-inch hard drive. Yes, there's almost 4-year-old rusty platter spinning around in here. But it's okay. We're going to fix that today because, like I mentioned, this is a fully user-serviceable and upgradable laptop, which is a very familiar concept to me because, in part, my daily driver laptop is a framework, and while this is hands down the best implementation of user-friendly serviceability with its minimal screw and magnet assembly, and Framework's vision for upgradability goes way beyond anything ever implemented in the laptop space, not much else about the Framework laptop is new. In fact, it's just revisiting old concepts and doing it much better. This is my old Dell Studio 17 from 2009. You can check out the video here where I completely refurbished this laptop for my daughter. Practically every part on this is replaceable, and we replaced several. The top panel, the bezel, the keyboard, the battery, upgraded to an SSD. This laptop even has a socketed CPU, which can be upgraded. So when Dell announced their Luna concept, I had two thoughts. First was, they're just going back to what they used to do before they started following the trend set by companies like Apple and HP. And second was, thank you, Narav Patel, for making that happen. Now, I can't be sure the growing popularity of Framework pushed Dell to consider the concept Luna laptop or to make Apple announce their user service program. I'm sure there were pending regulatory pressures that factored in, but regardless, it's great for the consumer and the world overall because the continuation of disposable tech is just not sustainable. So to extend the life of this laptop and put off the day that it finds itself in a landfill, I'm going to service, upgrade, and gift it to my mom. I'm saving the planet, well, and my wallet, if I'm being completely honest. I can't really afford a $1,000 MacBook right now. I don't know what YouTube rich is, but I'm pretty sure I ain't it. So the plan of action is to first, I'll disassemble a laptop, I'll clean out any dirt and dust, repaste the CPU, then I'm gonna upgrade the memory from the 8 gigs of single channel to 16 gigs in dual channel, replace the spinning hard drive with a 1TB SanDisk SSD, and I'm gonna even upgrade the Wi-Fi card to a new Intel Wi-Fi 6 Bluetooth 5 card because the one in here is a single 2.5 gigahertz band card, and my mom doesn't have hardline Ethernet, but it has a good tri-band Wi-Fi router. Okay, let's start by opening this up, but I want to show you the difference between user serviceable and user friendly. Now, to open my framework, all I have to do is loosen these 5 captive screws with the screwdriver that came with the laptop. Then, all I need to do is lift this panel and I have access to all the internals of the laptop. And there's some magnets that hold it right in place for reassembly. Now, the Dell also has some screws on the bottom that I can remove. These screws are not captive, so I don't want to lose those. That's all the screws I can see, but that's not all the screws that I need to disassemble this. Now, this was the days of removable, replaceable batteries, which is great. But underneath that battery hidden are a couple other screws that I need to remove. But that's still not it. If I remove optical drive sled or blank, there's more screws under here that need to be removed. And now you think you'd be done, but it's not just quite yet. If you look in here, it actually tells you that you need to remove 5 screws under the keyboard to disassemble it. So, removing the keyboard isn't a straightforward process, but if you look closely, there are some clips in here. So, thanks to my iFixit kit, I'm gonna use my spudger, my spacer, and I'm just gonna pop those clips open. Now I should be able to remove this keyboard. And then there's just one ribbon cable here to disconnect. The keyboard's removed. And now I have access to those 5 screws that need to be removed under the keyboard. And now with all the screws removed, it's just not as easy as popping off this panel, because now there are little plastic clips all around the edge holding this bottom panel on. So again, returning to my iFixit kit, I can take my little pry tool, try to carefully pry along the edges, and then again use my spacers here so it doesn't reclip itself. And you want to be careful doing this because those little plastic clips can break, and they will break. Okay. There it is. We have our spinning hard drive here. You can see socketed SODIMM memory. CPU is under here on the heatsink. There's our Wi-Fi card that needs to be upgraded. And everything here is pretty much modular. We have some expansion I/O over here. The motherboard can be completely removed from the system with just a couple more screws. But from the looks of things, I don't actually have too much work to do. I'm gonna clean out the heatsink and fan a little bit. I'm gonna repaste the CPU, and then I'll upgrade the components that I wanna upgrade. But other than that, it should be a pretty easy job. Let's just get started and see what that CPU looks like under there. Okay, yeah, you can see that most of the paste, you can see there's areas where there's just no paste left. Most of this paste has been pumped out, basically from the process of that CPU die heating up and cooling down, expanding and contracting over time. A lot of that paste has been pumped out around the edges there. And you can see there was only a small spot here right in the middle where there was actually paste still in contact with the die. We can take care of that. To do a direct die paste, I use Thermo Grizzly Cryonaut. And it has this really nice applicator where I can spread a nice thin layer directly onto the die here, covering the whole thing. Now, because it is so clean in here, I can just reassemble. Okay, thanks to it being so clean in here, that's all the servicing that I need to do. So let's get this upgraded. And let me start with the hard drive. All right, grab our new SSD. All right, SSD upgrade. Now let's take out this single 8 GB module of RAM and get it replaced with this 16 GB kit. All right, memory upgrade. Now let's upgrade this Wi-Fi module. And that's it, service and upgrade complete. Now, I'll just snap and screw it back together. So, now before I reattach this keyboard, I do want to clean this keyboard and see if I can scrub out under and between those keys a little bit. Just a tiny drop of some GPL 105. This is a good, like, all-purpose PTFE oil. Just good for metal on metal here, like the joint. Little drop there. Work it in. All right, yeah, that's much smoother. It was feeling a little gritty. Now I'm just gonna dab the excess away. Ah, very nice. Okay, just clip this keyboard back in. All right, now that the hardware is upgraded, it's time to update the operating system and software. As I installed a new hard drive, I do have the option of cloning the old one. However, this Dell is well outside of its service contract period, so there's no reason to continue to carry all the additional Dell service software and partitions that live on the old hard drive. Additionally, the recovery partition that allows you to essentially factory reset the laptop is so old and outdated now that if you were to use it to reinstall the operating system and system drivers, it will inevitably take longer to then update the OS and drivers than it would to just do a fresh install of Windows and then install the up-to-date drivers. Also, if you're giving the laptop away or selling it, you definitely want to do a fresh install. For a step-by-step guide on installing Windows and setting up a new computer, you can check out my full tutorial on that here or in the description below. If you still have the original drive in the system, I recommend deleting all the partitions on that drive during the Windows installation process and reformatting the drive. Again, those old partitions don't have any real value anymore. Once you have a brand new copy of Windows installed, in most cases with older hardware, Windows will automatically install all the drivers you'll need. However, for a lot of manufacturers, and definitely for Dell computers, you can find the support page for the exact model and either manually download and install the up-to-date drivers or install a small utility that'll find and install all the required drivers for you. Then I'm just going to install the Windows app installer and use the winget command to clean some of the bloat from the system. And now I have a completely refreshed laptop with several more years of life. Now, this was a relatively simple refurb and upgrade. Had there been the need, I could in fact replace pretty much any of the components in the system, from the motherboard, keyboard, touchpad, display, battery. Because the form factor is the same, I could even upgrade the motherboard and processor with a board from a higher tier Inspiron 15, which would then even allow me to upgrade the display to a full HD panel. But again, there's no need to replace perfectly functional components, and once I give her a refresher on Windows, this will be a completely adequate system for my mom to keep up with the grandkids on Facebook and organize all her recipes on Pinterest. Do you have an old computer kicking around somewhere? Hopefully, this video will help you find a new life for it. If you have any questions, be sure to ask in the comments below. Be sure to hit that like before you go, and maybe consider subscribing for future content like this. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe.